Day one, you go out to start filming Embers Wood.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts that morning?
I don't know where to start. You know, we went out. We set to conquer, and we conquered. I think. I mean, that's the general feeling of the day one.
Day one. Day one, I was actually sketchy. Didn't know any of you. And I was just like, you know, me and Annie going out here, you know, filming a movie. I was kind of like, you know...
Middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere at a cabin. Hey, it turned out good, though. Nobody got injured or molested.
Not on day one, anyways, right?
Not on day one.
Okay.
Right.
How long did you spend your first day out there?
Man, it was like a 10-hour day, I think. Yeah, because we got there at around 8 or 9, and we didn't leave till like 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to bore you with all the details. I'll just get to the juicy stuff, unless you want the details.
Well, we gotta have all the details. So that was a 10-hour day, right?
It was a very long day. Yeah, I was ready to go to sleep afterwards, and I did, and showered too, definitely.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable right now?
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable right now?
I'm very comfortable.
Feeling comfortable, Casey?
No, not really.
Alright, well, we're gonna change that right now.
Alright.
So, day two. So, day two.
Day two was a very good day. We went to a place called Pigeon Creek, where we started. Our call time was 7:45 again. We got there. First shot was a little later this day, I believe. That's the one that started about 10 because we had to set up the jib, and we had a lot more ambition behind that day, and you know, it went well. It went really well.
Besides one guy.
Yes, we had a minor incident.
Was your particular plans on day two interrupted?
I would say they were interrupted in the least. They were blown up, destroyed, mutilated, hacked.
What did he do?
Well, he ruined my day. That's what he did. He ruined my day.
How did he do that?
Well, you know...
Just tell a story from the beginning. What was the first thing you saw?
Right. I'm a pretty tough guy.
We broke for lunch, and half the crew went to go eat at Taco Bell.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Just fun fact, we went to McDonald's.
McDonald's, fun fact. So they went to McDonald's to go eat, and then I stayed behind with a few of the crew members.
And I look up and I see this guy dressed in camo. And I was like, is that guy with us? Or do we know him? And I'm like, no. So just forget about him. And it's like, okay. So we went on filming, and then I see him walk kind of away from us, but then he walks into the trees where we are.
And all of a sudden the dude comes out of the woods. Just real, like, almost like nonchalant. Like he's trying to be covert, like, you know, he's walking out like nobody can see him. Like, yeah, I'm standing out in the middle of a field, but it's cool because I got my camo on. They can't see me. You know, and I'm just like, what is this guy doing?
He was probably 20 to 25 feet away from us while we were sitting in our cars eating and about to go. And he just stared at us. Just with his head turned, looking up at us. Didn't move, talking to his wrist.
Talking to his wrist.
He gets into his wrist like he's talking into a walkie-talkie or something.
And at this point, it's just me, Levi, Samantha, and Annie, because the rest of the people went to McDonald's for food. And, you know, we're just, you know, we're really creeped out, because we're sitting over here and we're eating, and he's over there just staring. And I'm not even going to joke, he was over there for a good 10, 25 minutes just staring. Just staring. And I'm like, what is this guy doing, right? I'm over there and I'm like, Levi, dude, look at this creep just staring at us. And he's like, wow, dude, that's creepy. I'm like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, dude, I'm looking at him and he reaches in his pocket and grabs this rectangular thing, bro. And I'm just like, what is it? And all of a sudden, he starts snapping pictures.
Something along those lines, he just started taking pictures of us.
He was taking pictures of us.
And he was staring at everyone, just being creepy, taking pictures of license plates, which is, you know, unnecessary for any reason.
He's taking pictures of the front of our cars. And I'm like, my truck's here, dude. Right? I'm like, what? I can find out anything he wants with my license plate number. All he needs is a good connection. And I'm just like, wow, Levi, look at this guy, dude, taking pictures. He's like, he's taking pictures? I'm like, yeah, dude, look at him. Sure enough, we peek our head around the minivan, and there he is.
4 of us went to lunch at McDonald's because we didn't have enough food. And we came back, and we got a call. I think Casey got a call from Levi, and Levi was freaking out pretty much. And so we went back there, and basically what they said happened was while we were gone, Dustin tried to talk to him, and he just kept walking around and taking pictures of our cars and our license plates and stuff. And so either he had to be an undercover cop or a serial killer. And at that point we were like, man, this is kind of really scary right now. So apparently Dustin talked to him and had a little incident with that.
Hey, I'm talking to you! You know? And he turns around, points at me, and says, you're not supposed to have weapons here. Just like that. I swear, it was his tone and everything. And I'm like, oh, man, maybe he doesn't have post-traumatic stress. Maybe he is working with the Rangers or something, you know, Forest Rangers, taking pictures of us. He's going to turn us in, you know, he's got license plate numbers. They're going to ticket us in the mail. So I'm like, damn, all right, well, let me talk to this guy. So I park my truck, right? I get out and I walk up to him, and I'm like, hey, man, talk to me. At this point, he's walking away from me. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to talk to you. And he walks away, you know, just like before. And I'm just really kind of like freaking out a little because I'm like, you know, this guy's really starting to make me mad. You know, he won't talk to me, and that bugs me. He's ignoring me. So anyway, he walks down to this peninsula, and I'm like, well, I got you now. You can't go anywhere. I boxed him in on the peninsula because, you know, it's either swim or run through me, and those ain't happening. So I was like, hey, dude, I'll tell you exactly what's going on, all right, man? Just shake my hand, it'll be cool. And he goes, looks at me, no lie, turns his back, speaks into his microphone, and says, mic off. Who does that? He doesn't have anything on his wrist. At this point, right, I'm right in front of this dude, and I'm like, maybe this was a bad idea. You know, he's probably gonna shank me with a combat knife, dude. I mean, so I'm just like, all right. Listen, my name's Dustin Hartley. Shake my hand. And he goes, no physical touchy. I'm like, okay, all right, man, that's fine. You know, I'm just trying to keep him calm. I don't want him to flip. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Well, what we're doing here is we're making a movie, you know, and I mean, the weapon I have is a .22 rifle. It doesn't have any bullets. I don't have any bullets with me. It doesn't even fire anymore. And he's like looking at me. He's just staring at me. Just staring. Eyebrows all crazy. And I'm just like, okay. Well, I mean, you can come see it if you want. I'll show it to you, dude. And he's like, no, that's not my job. That's not my duty. That's not my mission.
And so we didn't see him after lunch for a while. And we continued filming, and it was getting a little dark. The sun was about to go down as we were wrapping for the day. All of a sudden, he shows up. And we were like, what is going on? No, first, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, we were filming in the woods again, and we see his truck parked across the opposite peninsula, across the lake. And we're like, what the heck? All of a sudden, we see him sprint to his truck and just floor it off in the opposite direction past us. And we're like, what is going on? And he showed up later, and Shane took my phone and started recording him. And he walked up there, and he was sitting up on the road next to his truck and looking at us through like binoculars or something.
Monocular.
A monocular.
And talking in his wrist and writing things down. And this guy was crazy, and Shane went and talked to him.
This was the day at Pigeon Creek, day 2. He was taking pictures of us, looking through monocular, and writing stuff down on a rock after he looked at us. He kept doing this over and over again. So I grabbed Michael's phone, and while he was looking at us through the monocular, I just started filming him, and did not try to hide the fact at all. That truck over there. It looks like he's writing stuff down after looking at us. Like he's calling in an airstrike. After I got quite a bit of footage, I worked up the nerve to actually go up to the guy, all the way up the hill, and see what he was doing. I got up to him and just said, "Hey." That's the only thing I said. I didn't get any response. So, I waited for him. I kept watching him. I was about 10 feet away from him. He kept just looking through binocular and writing stuff down. But he had no pen, and there was nothing on the rock in front of him. He looked at me, and he looked at my phone, and he said, "Is that yours?" I was like, "No, this belongs to my friend." He looks back, looks through binocular again, writes something else down, looks at me dead in the eyes, and says, "I'll be back in 2 hours, check the area." I am speechless at this point. I just look at him and say, "All right, man, see you then." And walk right back down the hill. And then he comes back down the hill, starts looking at me and some lady that pulls up with her dog and spies on her. So I got his license plate just in case he decides to come kill us later.
What was his license plate? Was it something PYG?
No, it was 671OII. I remember specifically.
All right, that's good. We could turn that into the sheriff if he ever like shows up at one of our houses.
Well, I mean, he does have pictures of all our license plates.
That is a little concerning, don't you think?
I'm pretty sure he took one of mine whenever he came back down that hill.
Wow.
And I know he took pictures of all of yours whenever we were gone from McDonald's.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's pretty much what my story as far as the Iraqi war veteran goes.
Wow. I'd say that's a cut.